Well, we got one part.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Christie here. I am joined today by Pam Thielen. We are coming at you to discuss complementary modalities to help with mental wellness. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Christy, and I'm really excited about us getting together because, I am all into wellness and I know you are too, and then the many facets of it. And we understand, nutrition and exercise and, supplementation is important, but I think we miss that part that really affects the mental wellness and how, yes, this helps with mental wellness, but there's so many more things that as we put everything together, it makes a big difference. So I would love to ask you, Christy, first of all, because you and I are just kind of meeting, but when we first met, I got so excited about what your whole philosophy is, what your idea is with that doggone depression, because it is so rampant right now, that anxiety, that depression, it's an epidemic, I think, in our society. So I would love for you to just explain, like you did with me, what the whole basis of what you're doing is.
Oh, I'd love to brag on doggone depression a little bit. So I created a program that is encompasses mind, body, and spirit. And I've fleshed out action steps to help with mindset, to help with emotion regulation, to help with identifying your authentic self through your values and through setting a future goal. I also work on physiology and how to improve your body so that your mind can function better. We discuss the importance of processing through trauma and doing that in a gentle way that does not re-traumatize you. We talk about the importance of community and gratitude, and it's all put together in a comprehensive program. And the reason I put it together is because, well, one, my first career was as a therapist, so I have quite a bit of background in training. I've combined that with my clinical experience as a therapist and as a doctor, but I was passionate about creating this because I myself struggled with anxiety and depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. And I found that therapy kept me in the problem for the most part. It was a lot of rehearsal about what happened and rehearsing the trauma and talking about the issues. And I often felt like I left a therapy session worse than when I came in. And in fact, I remember one time I was in the parking lot after a session and I was so unraveled from the session itself that I couldn't even drive home. I had to call the therapist in an emergency and be like, how do I put it back together so that I could get home? And this all culminated at one point after I was working a shift in the emergency department. And it was a very busy morning. I picked up 3 patients to go see. And my first patient, I walk in, I sit down, ask what's going on. And she proceeds to tell me that she was sexually assaulted. Well, the next thing you know, I'm having a full-blown panic attack and was just completely coming unraveled. And I had already been in therapy for years at that point. And I got through that day. But when I saw my therapist again a few days later, I was really furious. I'm like, why can't I get a handle on this? Why can't I seem to let it go? Why am I still triggered so badly? And she really left me up in the air. There was no clear answer, no clear steps to take. And I continued to kind of do poorly consistently over a long period of time. And I got hurt, fell, I broke my foot and my shoulder. So that took me out of work, and I used work largely as a coping technique, and my depression just rolled me. It was so bad that I actually checked myself into a facility so that I could get some structured care. And I'd like to say that the techniques they discussed were the cure, but actually I discovered art. A new person had come in with a service dog. She was really unhappy, upset. Turns out she was a nurse. We started, talking about war stories and lamenting about being in the facility. And I wanted to make her smile. So I pulled out a piece of paper and a pencil and I sketched a picture of her dog. Huge smile came across her face. And then I saw myself or felt myself smiling as well. And it was like the first time I had smiled, truly smiled, and for as long as I can remember. And so I felt like I was kind of onto something. And after I left the facility, I continued to do art. And I became determined to find freedom. And what that meant to me was no debt, no guilt, more time. I made some major life changes. I left a relationship that was depleting me. I moved to Florida. I took on telemedicine to give myself a break from the ER. And I started doing these dog portraits. And then at one point, I went to an event and I heard Shane Sams talking about doing online businesses to help people with knowledge that you had. And I'm like, I got to do this. I have to help other people who've struggled like I do. And so that's how Doggone Depression got started in its infancy. And I spent a year putting together my program, putting together the lesson content. I created videos, I created PDF handouts for people. And best of all is I created art dog portraits so that people can download those, print them out, and then we're going to have art time together as one of my group coaching sessions. And I also offer group coaching. So in addition to access to all the materials, there's access to me. And I just know that having a stepwise approach to getting better helps. You know, I mean, I went to therapy, I did all the standard things. And until I actually started to work with a life coach and implement these changes myself, step by step, it wasn't until then that I really started to gain peace, if you would, and freedom from the depression and anxiety. I haven't had a flashback in 2 years now. I'm not depressed. I don't wake up dreading the day anymore. I actually pop out of bed at 5 a.m. just can't wait to get started. And that's a huge, huge change for me. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell and how things got started.
Well, that's awesome because I love the fact that what you're doing is you're giving people tools. Because it, you know, again, it's that rehearsing part. But one of the things too is you've experienced this, you've been there. So what's happening is you can take that experience and what worked, what didn't, and you can mold it with your doctor background as it is. You've already got knowledge, you've already got the education, that's all there, but it's the actual experience you've had and you've tried all the other things and with what works, and then laying out a step-by-step plan is huge for people.
Yes.
I mean, I have found that even with what I do, it's kind of funny because yours was a past that really made, you know, the experience. Well, I had the same thing with experiences with autoimmune issues. And it was my change in, you know, my diet and my lifestyle, which I was doing with the exercise and the nutrition. But what had ended up happening is I was still declining. I was still going down a road that, I mean, my daughter has told me, she remembers, she was 4 when I started this program. And I remember her telling me even before that she remembers I couldn't even run around the yard with her because I was in so much pain and so fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
And finding the right supplementation, finding the right exercise, the right nutrition, all of that made a huge difference. Obviously, depression went along with it because you know how that situational depression, when you feel crappy every single day, you are not a happy person. So, but it just, that experience helps like you be more empathetic with what people have going on and really know that there's an answer. It's just we have to lay out a plan.
That's right.
And that's really what the Better Choices program is too. We're laying out a plan for people that have the tools to follow, get the encouragement to follow so that those people can get better. And it all goes together. That's the beauty of it, because attitude and mental health are going to affect what you do on the other end of it as well. So I'm really excited that you and I are kind of doing this, you know, buy one, get one free type thing, because I think it's going to make a world of difference for people who are looking for overall wellness and just have a better life, period, with how they feel physically. Yes, but the mental is so much a part of that.
Yeah, I just want to mention to the audience that what Pam was alluding to there, buy one, get one, is we're partnering together. And so if you choose to join Pam in her
Better Choices program.
yes, Better Choices program. You get 1 month free with me and vice versa. If you want to join my program, you get 1 month free with Pam. And Pam, I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about the nutrition end of things and how you're approaching that and some of what you're teaching.
Well, what we're trying to teach is really not looking at food as good or bad, number one, but also how to make small changes in your diet so that your body starts getting all the nutrients it needs. Because food is supposed to be fuel for our body. It's where our body gets, even really technically the chemicals that make up the chemical makeup of our body is what we're putting into our body. So making sure that we get all those nutrients that are so important in our body functioning the way it was created to in the first place. I mean, our body's an amazing miracle, but if you don't fuel it correctly, so you're not getting the right foods in, then you're not going to function correctly. It's just like putting bad gas in a car. The car may still run, but it's not going to run well. And our bodies are the same way. And so our goal is to teach people how to, number one, make small changes, because if you go whole hog, what usually happens is you quit. Just making small overtime changes, little changes here and there that are over the long term going to make a huge difference. And then we also do the exercise end of that. We help people, come up with a exercise program that fits into their lifestyle. So, because everybody's a little bit different and how much time they're willing to give. I always say willing to give because everybody has time. It's just how much you're willing to give to it. And then the supplementation part too, because unfortunately our food supply just won't supply it anymore. We can't really get what we need, so we have to supplement. So we guide with a personalized supplement program too, so that we are ensuring that you are getting all those nutrients, not just getting the nutrients into your body, but also in the right balance. Because all nutrition balances out. When you go to a health food store and buy all these separate vitamins and minerals and everything, what happens is you may be throwing a balance off and you may be really not doing anything. You may be helping yourself, or you actually could be harming yourself if you get it in the wrong balances. So we focus on that as well too. And I'm in partnership in that Better Choices program with a registered dietitian. So, because I'm a personal trainer and nutritional lifestyle consultant, well, she is a registered dietitian as well. So we work together on developing that program and giving them those tools.
Oh, that's beautiful. I actually have one of my lessons in my program is called the Rule of Eights. And I try to simplify it for people. You need 8 hours of sleep a night. I discuss the reasons why. 8-ounce glasses of water a day to optimize brain function. 8 servings of primarily vegetables and fruit to get the phytonutrients that you need and the micronutrients. And then 8 minutes of exercise, just because I figure everybody can move their body for 8 minutes and doing something, whether it be walking around the block or marching in place or doing simple stretch. Get out there 8 minutes, there's a good chance you'll probably stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But to simplify it, I call it the Rule of Eights. And so your program dovetails beautifully because you're going to expand on those ideas, like how to get the right nutrition in the right ratios and how to incorporate the supplementation, which I think is also key, because I do agree with you that it's very difficult to get all the nutrients you need in the foods, in foods.
As an example of that, my husband has a garden that when we moved to where we are, it was 5,000 square feet. It's now larger. So we have a huge garden and I was eating out of all of that. So we are even growing our own, not to mention we hunt. So I was eating a lot of wild game and I still couldn't get what I needed. So yes, it is our food supply. Even our ground is not what it used to be.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. The nutrient depletion in the soil.
When I think with yours, that's why, like you said, it dovetails so well, because I think your program dovetails so well is also because of attitude. Because when you have a better attitude, you have a healthier outlook in life. I'm sure you've noticed it. When you make one healthy change, you make more healthy changes. It just kind of snowballs into your life. And getting on top of that mental wellness, I think, is key first, honestly. Getting on top of that mental wellness, because then you're going to have much more of a drive to get the rest of it healthy as well. And you're going to look forward to life. So you're going to look forward to doing things that make your body feel better.
That's right. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. You really can't get mentally well ignoring the physical component, and you can't get mentally well if all you focus on is the physical component, because it's a marriage, if you will, between the two. We're triune beings, in my opinion: body, mind, spirit, and all three of those parts of ourselves need to be nurtured and healed in many respects. So yeah, this is amazing.
I love the fact too, that when you brought that up, I want to reemphasize too, you're not talking about rehearsing the old stuff. You're not talking about going back and playing over and over and over again some of the things that are bothering you, but instead of finding a way to work through it, because I think that's so important.
Yeah, we don't focus on rehearsing the problem, we stay in the solution, and we harness the power of neuroplasticity to help create new neural pathways. And as your belief systems about yourself begin to change, that will affect your thoughts, which affect your emotions, which affect your actions. Actions repeated over time become habits. And so we really try to help people heal from the deepest core on up.
That neuroplasticity is huge. A lot of people, if you don't know what that is, you need to look it up. And there's a number of books out there about how you literally, like she was talking about, you can create new neural pathways. They're going to make all the difference in the world. And there's so many things that really goes back to the epigenetics, because there's a book, and I can't remember, I'll have to post it on the Facebook page or something, but she talks about epigenetics and the new neural pathways, that neuroplasticity. And it's a doctor, I can't remember again her name, but I'll find it. And how when you create those new neural pathways, it really a lot of it has to do with the epigenetic tags you're creating as well. So
Are you thinking of Dr. Caroline Leaf?
Yes, that's her. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly her.
Yeah, I use some of her materials in my program.
It's a fantastic book. Do you remember the name of the book?
I actually have it. I would have had it sitting on my shelf, but I'm packing to move. So
well, mine's on my Kindle. So it's just, people, if you're wondering what it is, just remember Dr. Caroline Leaf, and just like it sounds. So, and look it up. She's got a fantastic book on that. Epigenetics and neuroplasticity, all of that. So yes, we're on the same page.
Yep.
So real quickly, how can people find you from this? Because I'm going to post this on my page as well. So how can people find you?
So my website is www.doggonedepression.com. You can also reach me on my email at Christy, which is CHRISTY, at doggonedepression.com.
Perfect. And mine is actually getfitsavvy.com with 2 V's. So GETFITSAVVY.com. The Better Choices program is on there. And also you have a Facebook page, I know, the Doggone Depression, because I found it. I follow that one. And then I also have a Get Fit Savvy Facebook page as well. So that's another place to find it. So
awesome. Yeah, definitely. I'm still a little bit tech adverse. So I also have a Facebook page just under Dr. Christy Walter, and I've tried to link the two, and I'm doing something wrong because they don't seem to link up.
They don't play nicely with each other. I have the same problem. So, but you can get a hold of either of us at our Facebook pages, or the websites too. So you can connect with either one of us.
Yeah, please. We would love to help you. And that's what it's all about, is people helping people. We're using our experiences, we're using our hope, and we're sharing it.
Yep, that's it. Doggone Depression and Better Choices. Let's go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Pam. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, this will be fun. It really will be.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We hope you have some motivation to look us up, and some hope, knowing that there are programs out there for you to help you with where you are at, to bring you into wellness, and to help you develop a life full of hope, healing, and happiness. You deserve it. You deserve freedom. It's your God-given destiny. So take hold of it. Thank you, everybody.
Amen. Better choices, better health, better habits, better life.
Better life. Thanks, everybody.